Hello friends, welcome to ELS English Literature Studies with Kaur Harpreet. Today I am here to discuss one more video on precursors of romantic movement, that is William Blake. In my previous videos I have discussed about transition age and transition poets, in which all the minor transition poets are already discussed in detail one by one. Link will be provided in the description box. If you are new on my channel, you can check those videos also. And if you are new on my channel, then please hit the bell button to get notifications for my upcoming videos. And if you are regular on my channel, please share and subscribe my channel. So let us start with today's topic, that is William Blake, one of the precursor of romantic literature, and whose time period is 1757 to 1827. William Blake was a 19th century writer and artist. He is also regarded as a seminal figure of the romantic age. He has influenced countless writers and artists also through the ages. He is a boldly imaginative rebel in both in his thought and in his art, and he was born in 1757 in London. He started writing at an early age. He claimed to have his first vision at the age of 10, and these visions would have a lasting effect on his writing and on his art. And his early childhood was dominated by spiritual visions which influenced his life also. It is William Blake who combined poetical and pictorial genius to explore important issues in politics, in religion, and in psychology. He had interest in Gothic art, and he incorporated this art into his work also. Right? He was mainly educated at home by his mother, and the Bible had a profound influence on him, and the Bible remained a lifetime source of inspiration for him also. Let us talk about William Blake as a young artist. As a young artist, he rejected 18th century literary trends which preferred the Elizabethans and which also preferred ancient ballads. He started collecting prints of artists like Raphael and Michelangelo, who had fallen out of work at that time. And at the age of 21, he completed his apprenticeship. He became an engraver. He became a mature artist, and during this time he was a fanatical revolutionary in poetry. He went far beyond the most determined of the romantics in his worship and imagination. Neither in his matter nor in his manner is there anything of the 18th century, right? His poetry was never published in the ordinary sense, but appeared as commentary for his engravings. Only his early poetry is according to the interest of readers, as it is simple, direct, and musical as well, whereas later poetry is devoted to prophetic visions. And his early poetry consists of short songs and lyrics, and it is contained mainly in 3 volumes, namely Poetical Sketches, Songs of Innocence, and Songs of Experience. When we talk about Poetical Sketches, it is the first collection of poetry and prose written by him between 1769 and 1777. Songs of Innocence. It is first printed in 1789. It is a collection of 19 poems engraved with artwork, and its main theme is happiness, innocent perception, and pastoral harmony. All these are main themes of Songs of Innocence, right? And the next 10 years, from 1790 to 1800, this time period was the most peaceful and successful time for William Blake. It was during this time he completed his iconic works like Songs of Experience, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, The Four Joas, Jerusalem, and the Book of Jerusalem. His other volume, Songs of Experience, it is published in 1794. Songs of Innocence is a collection of 19 poems, and Songs of Experience is a collection of 26 poems, forming the second part of William Blake's Song of Innocence and of Experience. Some of the poems, such as The Little Girl Lost and The Little Girl Found, these are moved by William Blake to Songs of Innocence and were frequently moved between the two books. Right? Now, main question here arises that why he wrote the Songs of Innocence and the Songs of Experience. The reason behind is that these 2 volumes intended by Blake to show the 2 contrary states of the human soul, and these poems of him are product of genuine inspiration. His poetry shows imagination, his poetry shows feeling, it shows concern for individual lives. It demonstrates the idea that modern industrialized society has destroyed innocence. That is the main reason that he wrote these 2 volumes. William Blake was a nonconformist and he was associated with some leading radical thinkers of his day. His poetry was not published during his lifetime because he was rebellious and revolutionary poet. He was against the norms and expectations of his society. It was until his 60s when his work began to receive credit, right? And he has become a giant in literary and artistic circles, and his visionary approach to art and writing have inspired a vast array of artists and writers. In form, when we talk about form, in form as in thought, Blake was in complete revolt against the conventions of the 18th century. He avoided the couplet altogether. He obeyed no rules, followed no set patterns, either in his songs or in his mystical works. Though he was a great admirer of Milton, but yet he wrote, we can say, his prophetic poems not in Miltonic verse but in special blank words of his own, which is hardly distinguishable from rhythmical prose, right? And William Blake was an eccentric and insane. It was only later on that he was recognized as a mystic visionary. Like an insane person, he lived in a world of his own, a world of imagination, a world of mystery. And Wordsworth was very right in his words when he remarked that the madness of Blake interests as more than the sanity of other men. So, friends, this is all about William Blake. I hope you will like the content, and if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And if you're new on my channel, please hit the bell button so that you can get notifications for my upcoming videos. Thanks a lot for watching.